Stephanie, why you care so much about this type of work that you're doing?
Because I see the potential. I see the right now opportunity, and I want other people to take advantage of it like I have. So I'm passionate about it, and I make sure that I do something every day to advance my passion and to build the business.
Have you ever had a moment where you've, said to yourself, this here is my calling?
Yes, but also I often wonder what other people feel like is their calling and how we can make that work synonymously, because I know other people have a calling or they have their goals, and so trying to show them that through technology and through drones they could reach those goals no matter what industry you might have started in.
Is there a time in that time frame of, celebrating 5 years that you almost threw your hands up and just say, you know what, this,
No,
I'm about to move on to something else?
no. In fact, other opportunities have come. A lot of people, group that I know of, they're doing, what is it? Uh,
Well, hold on. I want to go back to you saying no, but tell me why you said there was never a time that you wanted to give up.
because it's at the beginning stages, it's at the formulation stage. And so that's like giving up on a baby who hasn't quite gotten the walk down. You don't give up on the baby. So this has been my baby that I believe in, and I just know that I have to keep feeding, keep nourishing, keep growing, and eventually it paid off. So no, I wasn't going to give up.
That's
A lot of people, I recently conducted the first in person drone pilot prep course in Savannah, Georgia,
mhm.
with some military retirees. And one of my questions to them was, what is your takeaway after being a part of the class? And a lot of them felt like, wow, drones, I really didn't think it was that serious of a thing, but now after going through this and seeing the details and what you have to know, the knowledge that you need to get certified as a drone pilot, I
Mhm.
can see this is a big thing. So I think people misunderstand the opportunity. They look at it as not being that big of a deal, because it's a small unmanned aircraft versus a commercial jetliner.
Mhm.
And so they skip over, they miss what they could do with that.
What's the mistake that you see people make all the time when it comes to the drone industry?
Not realizing that we are in the frontier of the drone industry, and building their own lane. It's like being in the beginning stages of transportation, and you could do trains, you could do shipping, you could do trucking, but you have to pick a lane and work it. And so people come into, they see the opportunity maybe as, oh, it's just a little gig on the side, but really there's so many opportunities for growth, that if you're serious about building a business,
Mhm.
this could be bigger than any job or any business that you might have thought about before. So helping them to one get certified, and then helping them to see, okay, now that you're certified, don't just sit back and wait for somebody to call you for a gig.
Right.
Take hold of it and push forward and build a lane doing whatever it is that you see that could be done with drones, because they have revolutionized the data collection process. So making that work for you, and that's what they miss.
What is something that you want people to feel about your brand?
I want them to feel as if we are here to not just, it's just not a transaction, that it is really something that we want for them to feel like they can come to us as like a library of knowledge of drone skills. So, and that speaks to the growth of the company, in that right now our focus is getting as many people certified as possible as drone pilots. But then we also offer the drone lessons, and we want to eventually get to certain skill sets where we teach them what are the certain techniques to do utility line inspections, what are the techniques to do solar panel inspections, and what those certifications look like, so that they have those skill sets, and that those flight hours, that they can walk into a situation and readily know how to do those things, and not just fly the drone, but that there's automation involved. That's the next level. Not just you manually being a drone pilot, but being able to sit at a systems board and coordinate doing remote drone pilot work.
Let's talk about visibility. Like, what does visibility mean to you when it comes to the TCB Drones brand? Like, what is that to you, visibility?
Visibility is building the brand, letting people know that we're here and that we are a viable option. A lot of people might consider certain companies to be their go-to company for training, but we have consistently had people in our drone pilot prep course. They've gotten certified in less than 30 days, and now they're on their way to building their skills. And so we have helped them to get their first drone job, so they can see from beginning to end within 30 to 60 days after they get certified. They're gainfully getting paid as a certified drone pilot. And so that's what, and when they do that, they come back and we have them to do their testimony, to tell other people that it's a real thing. Because, with marketing and with technology today, sometimes it seems as if that companies do more marketing than they do actually working and making people's lives change and making them better. So I want us to not just be a brand, but a company where people can look at us and say, okay, we see the results of what they're doing.
What are some things that you're currently working on right now?
Well, just this week, Spirit Airlines has essentially shut down. And I remember being in the airport just days ago and seeing Spirit Airline employees walking through the airport on their way to their flights. Then within 24 hours, it's on the news, Spirit Airlines has shut down and told the people, if you have a ticket, don't bother coming to the airport. So I don't know what forewarning the company gave to their employees, but that is something that I can imagine going from you you are expecting to have a job, expecting to have steady income, and then all of a sudden it's not there. So one of the things that TCB Drones is working on or has decided to do is to help those 17, not all 17,000, but some of those employees to realize that their skills are transferable into the drone industry. And we welcome them. We want them to realize that by giving them a discount on the drone pilot prep course. So we're offering a 50% discount to all Spirit Airline employees who can show us their ID, because as far as I know, they didn't even have time to collect those, so they probably still have them. And then we will work with them, and whether it's a pilot, their skills are transferable as instructors. We need instructors who understand what the rules and regulations of aviation are. And then, of course, whether you're a flight attendant or a gate agent or a ground crew person, just realizing that the skills, whether they're soft skills or not, are transferable into the drone economy. So we want to help them to make that transition. I want for, there's been so many news stories and just with of course Black women being laid off or fired or separated from their jobs. And so I do want for women, Black women, and women in general, to realize that the tech industry is not just for men or certain people, but there's room for us, and we should look into what opportunities are available to us and make that happen. We can. I just did some research recently where it said that most men in America work in a labor type driven environment, whether they are doing construction or truck driving, delivery, that type of thing. And so most women do customer service type work. So we have been put into these categories because, of course, that's where we have been, but you can't just stick to that. You have to be willing to get outside of your comfort zone, because then that's most of the time where you realize, hey, over here is an opportunity or something that I really can flourish at. But you have to have the courage to step out of what other people expect of you, one, and two, have the personal fight that where you don't need a lot of people to cheer you on, because that's a lot of us, we're looking to be cheered on, or we're looking for the surface support, when really it has to be internal. If you're going to succeed, you got to be willing to do it, whether or not somebody's there cheering you on or not, because then that's most of the time where you can find the results or the rewards for yourself. Is an organization led by Lynetta Smith, and she is the CEO of this well, it's a nonprofit, and then they work with military retirees to help them to transition into the transition out of the military. So because, as we said during communication with her, that a lot of military people, they're used to being told, what to do and where to go and how to do it. And when you transition out of that, then you have to know what your skill set can bring and be able to market yourself. So one of the cohort that we just did through her, through that group, it allowed, as a matter of fact, it allowed them to see, maybe being a drone pilot is something that we can do. And one of the students, his name is Antonio, he broke the record for being the student who took the Part 107 and passed it the fastest. It was in less than 10 days. So from when we left Savannah during that 2-day course in person to the next week, he had gone and taken his exam and passed it. So I was so happy to hear that and excited. It just it makes me so happy when people see the vision for not just what we're saying, but they can see it for themselves, and they go and take the initiative and do the studying and go and pass that test, and don't take 6 months to do it or 2 months, but within 30 days is what we show them that they can do it.
What are 3 things they need to consider when it comes to starting a business?
Well, I would say the 3 things that anyone needs to consider when starting a business is start a business not that you want to do necessarily, but what the market says is a good thing to do. That's how I landed on drones, because I did my research and it said drones are going to be the fastest growing sector of technology. So look at the what's growing and what's going to be growing in 20 years from now. 1, 2, whether that's what you've been doing, be willing to pivot, because, and when I say pivot, doing something maybe that totally was not what you thought you'd be doing.
Come back to the mic just a little bit.
Okay, so be willing, choose something that is that's viable and growing. Be willing to pivot into that, and then be committed to doing whatever it takes, whether that's a time commitment and building alliances, because it is going to take time. And if you are married or you have children or you have family, make sure that they are on board with you, and or at least they know why that you are going to be doing that, because it's going to take time. And so that's important, to be able to put in the time and energy to make it work.